How's it going, everyone? Hope you guys enjoyed some shots that Nemeth and I put up. We are constantly practicing mini basketball hoops because we know it's going to pay big dividends in the future. So we're building voice agents to eliminate non-emergency prior authorization phone calls for primary care. And going into last week, we put our application in for YC, fingers crossed. And building on top of that, we thought a big focus that would be great for us to really nail down on is a ton of cold calls and just trying to get more data points around the problem space that we're trying to understand better around referral management and some of the manual phone calls right now that are still being done to complete prior authorization.
Yeah. And one other big thing from last week was we did do a private launch of our product and had a lot of people in health systems review and also give us good feedback about what they think about the product and how the workflows would work in a real life situation. So that was a big win for us last week as well, just getting it out there, getting it in hands of people who would actually be using that. Also, we had a chance to meet a director of a very big health system here in San Francisco, and this actually came out of a cold visit that we did a week before that. So again, it was a day where me and Spencer both headed out to different parts of San Francisco and trying to see who we can talk to in the admin space, who has a good overlook of the back office processes. Mm-hmm. And this meeting came as a result of us talking to a researcher who worked in one of their labs, and she connected us to the director. And yeah, that was a big meeting where we kind of got more insights into how admin directors think of this problem around prior authorization, verification, and all the phone calls that go. So that will go into the next iteration of product that we are actually thinking of launching publicly here soon in this week. And yeah, we'll be putting it out there for everyone to have a look at what we're building.
Yeah. So going off of that, thank you. Going off of that, I'll be actually traveling to New York City, where I'll be meeting a few investors, and that'll be an interesting experience. Super excited for that. Haven't really been to New York City since I was a little kid. And on top of that, a really big focus for us is just to really nail the more cold calls and more in-person visits, so we can continue to grow that sample size, so that we can try to really narrow down on the particular use case within referrals and prior authorization on how potentially Sydney, our AI voice agent, can streamline some of those different back and forth communications that otherwise take a lot of time. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have too many more updates from my end. Mm-hmm. Do you have any highlights from the week that you think are?
Yeah, I think even with what the amount of outreach that we have done in the past 2 weeks, we did identify a few trends. And right now, as Spencer said, the focus is to just increase that sample size and see what the generalized trends are, so that
what's one or two trends?
So one of the trends that we have been seeing a lot is the way in which the primary care physician's office, the specialist's office, and insurance work. I think go back when in the start of last week, we did have some assumptions around it, but the trends kind of highlighted what's the most common way in which the information transfers between all these three different parties. So that's one example of a trend. And because that will impact a lot in the way that we are thinking about our product, the way the workflows would be in the product. Sure. So I think that's one example of trend. And the focus for the next week is, firstly, with all our assumptions, try to either prove them right or wrong, and then also get more clarity on the trends in a more general fashion, I would say.
Yeah, and we're continuing to talk with potential design partners to actually get this thing off the ground and get going. So we're having conversations right now of interested health facilities that are super excited to potentially get going with us. So, we're going to continue to push forward, continue shooting baskets, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.